Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your channel, the Akashic Reading for November 2025. When I tapped into your energy, the first thing that I kept hearing is healing, healing. You have been healing a lot. You've been working on yourself quite a bit. I feel that you are in a position where you've transmuted a lot of pain, a lot of your own pain and in the personal experiences that you've had in the past, starting from your upbringing to teens to wherever you are now, and basically your whole life, as well as ancestral lineage. I feel that you transmuted the pain of a lot of your ancestors. So, with that said, it's like the expression of emotions that have sort of come through you to be healed. You may not even have known it. It's moments in your life, especially in the last year and even significantly in the last few months, I would say, where you found yourself crying for reasons you weren't exactly sure why. There's some things that you can pinpoint what's making you crying, but often you're crying about things you don't really understand why. You're like, why am I sad? Why am I crying? These moments when you've been physically transmuting the pain of your ancestors is what I'm hearing. And so a lot of this pain, this sorrow has come through you to be healed. Basically, you've healed generations have been healed through you and you've expressed that emotion. And so where that brings you today is that you're at a place where I feel that you are still maybe experiencing some of the residual energy of that, but you definitely made it to the other side of a lot of this deep healing that you've done. And I feel that now you're in this place where you're a lot more mentally agile. You're back to your quick wittedness, you're back to your sharpness, you're more focused, more fearless. I feel that you're experiencing a lot more inspiration and you have a lot more confidence again. You're back to sort of this confident communication and this sort of fearlessness on the other side of your healing. With that, I feel that you have an opportunity to sort of see where you'd like to go now with a lot more clarity and a lot less heavy emotions impacting your decision making. I feel that you're feeling a lot less prickly in your emotions. You're not taking out your emotions so much on other people. They're just showing me that you've had a lot of experiences where perhaps you've lashed out maybe at your partners or at your coworkers or your friends or family just because of the uneasiness you've been feeling emotionally lately. And I feel that now you're on the other side of that, where you're feeling a lot more excited to be around people, a lot more confident, a lot more witty and chatty, and just you have a lot more clarity. And also, they want to talk about your focus. You're more clear about where you want things to go, whether that's in career, your relationships, your personal growth, your well being. I feel that you're much more clear about who you are and clear about where you'd like to go. And with that said, you have more passion, there's more spark. And I feel that November is when you're going to really activate on this spark that you're experiencing right now and the passions that are leading you towards your goals and your dreams. And you're able to step towards new things confidently without feeling the need to sort of be wrapped in this protective cover of things that you're used to, sort of repetitive cycles. I feel that you're now feeling more inspired to try new things and do new things and hang out with new people or refresh your relationships with people that you haven't really seen in a while. Now in November, you have this inspiration, Scorpio, where you're a lot more, like I said, passionate and feeling a lot more brave to take chances, to take risks in your life. And so I will say that they are highlighting this feeling that you've had because you've had to heal so much. You're carrying a lot of pressure. You're carrying a lot of burden and responsibility. And what I'm getting about this feeling is that a lot of the pressures and the burdens that you're putting on yourself aren't necessarily real. There are some real responsibilities that you are carrying, but I think the level of pressure that you put yourself on does not equate to the responsibilities. It's like you're putting a lot of weight on the things that you need to do and the things that you need to get done, and you really don't need to put that much weight on it. These are things that you need to do, these are things that you need to get done, but the amount of pressure you're putting on yourself and the weight that you're carrying as a result of it is a lot more unnecessary than you think. It's a little bit exaggerated. And so you're creating more pressure for yourself than need be. They want you to observe the things that you deem are your responsibilities in your life and just see them as your responsibilities and don't put too much pressure on them. Understand when you're creating timelines that are maybe too aggressive of timelines or not realistic timelines, so that you don't beat yourself up or overextend yourself to meet these deadlines and these timelines just because you set out to do so. And then you end up burning yourself out or feeling guilty or feeling the weight of it. Perhaps extend some of these timelines. If you have some dates in mind, some personal development dates or ideas of when you were planning on moving, or when you were planning on starting a new career, or when you thought that you would get a promotion and you're really working hard towards that goal, just know that if you look at your life as a whole and all the things that you'd like to do and where you are and where your energy is at, if this deadline was a little too aggressive, just push it back a little bit. Push it back a month, push it back 2 months, push it back a week. Just give yourself a little bit of breathing room, and just know that if you push back a deadline or two, your personal deadlines, these are deadlines you've created. And so therefore it's like you are the one who's allowed to push it back. It's not going to mean that your whole plan and all your goals are completely unraveling. It just means that you're giving yourself some more realistic space as to not burden yourself. So you can give yourself enough grace to make sure you accomplish those things at a time that's reasonable for your lifestyle. So just recognize when those burdens that you've put on yourself and the responsibilities are feeling too heavy, and try to identify which burdens can be lifted, which burdens are just requiring a little bit of a later deadline, that type of thing. And so with that said, there's a highlight around balance, really looking to balance your life and restructure your life, or not, maybe not restructure, but just take into account what you do on a daily basis and take into account all the work that you've done, and also recognize the fact that all the personal work that you've done and the just this transmuting of and healing of not only your trauma, your experiences, but ancestral lineage as well, that you need to take that into account. That is work, and that is energetically exhausting, and that requires rest when needed. And so just take all of that into account and consider what a day to day, week to week, month to month life should look like for Scorpio now moving forward. That's more realistic, that's more grounded into balance and without the weight of the burden on your shoulders. And so that you can make sure that you have a certain level of self control around what you want to do, that's not burning yourself out or just grabbing the bull by the horns and just moving forward, that everything's done in moderation so that you can still remain present in your experience as to not go overboard, and that you can also sort of troubleshoot your goals and different steps and ways that you want to live and how you sort of view your life and where you'd like things to go. You can troubleshoot some of these new steps that you're taking in your life and seeing if things work for you, like trial and error, versus just bulldozing right into something new and then deciding, wait, this isn't the direction I want to go in. So there's more opportunity for you to sort of play around and experience life in a way and decide, like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do next? Are you ready to venture into a relationship? Are you in a relationship that you're looking to maybe move it to the next level? Or is it about your career? Are you looking to change your career? Are you looking to add on to your education or take your career to the next level in some way? Try different things. You're going to need some balance and patience and moderation when it comes to these new avenues in your life. So, again, take time to just step your toe into a little bit of this, a little bit of that, without the pressure of needing to accomplish something. This is very experimental opportunity for you, so you can try some new things in the path of your new direction. So, with that said, I feel like, especially near the end of November, as you sort of move through things with a lot of passion and clarity, removing some of the burdens and anticipating some of the balance that you are, and implementing some of the balance and moderation in your life, I feel that you're going to really see some of the success on the other side. I feel that you're in the midst of a victory, basically. All the things that you've been working towards, I feel like you're going to see these achievements play out in November. And you're going to see how these things have been successful for you, whether that's your emotional and personal development. I feel that you're going to find that you're handling personal situations much better. Whether you've been going to therapy and then you find that some of the things around therapy is stuck and it's actually improving your relationships in different ways. I feel like that's another example of the success and the victories that you're going to find. Whether you've been working towards a goal in your work and career, I think that you're going to see a lot of payoff in that as well. And some of your goals and dreams that you've been working towards as well, I feel like you're going to see a lot of improvement and victory on the other side of things in November for you, Scorpio. Very exciting things for you. I do want to highlight there is potential where I feel like your skill sets and all the healing that you've been doing will be tested in the sense of your relationships with others. I feel that there will be moments where you'll find there's a bit of conflict, maybe some fighting, some infighting, whether that's in your interpersonal relationships. This could be friends, family, a partner, children, even, where you find that some of the skills that you've learned, some of the healing that you've done in order to approach certain things in a new way is going to be tested in the form of your relationships with others. So perhaps certain triggers that would set you off in the past might come about in your relationships with people, and how you deal with them is going to determine what sort of areas you need to continue to work on. So just notice how certain conflicts often present themselves in your situation, in your relationship, like with your partner, if you're always arguing about the same topic, or with your friends or your family, and they're always annoying you around the same thing. Just notice, like, hey, I've been sort of griping over this particular thing for quite some time. What is a new way I'm going to approach this situation now that this person has said this to me? This is a normal trigger for me that this person has done. What am I going to do differently to approach this situation? And you're going to have the opportunity to utilize all your skill sets. And I think that you'll see that you'll be able to wind down conflict a lot quicker than you have in the past. And you're going to work on not carrying so much resentment towards people, as long as you've been able to hold resentment towards people in the past in certain situations, based on your healing and growth and where you're at right now. And I think you'll notice through this process that a lot of these experiences that you're having with people are not they're not real battles, they're not real fights. That often you might find that you've sort of projected an idea onto people, or you've misinterpreted perhaps their intentions, or you've taken their intentions and you've sort of processed it differently than how they intended it. And I think that through your conflict resolution, you're going to notice how to address this. So through your conflict resolution, you're going to address these situations much differently than you have in the past. So just recognize that there may be opportunities that may present as maybe some hostility, maybe some competition that could be through work or coworkers, or perhaps you're in a competitive field in your career. And so there might be a bit of anxiety inducing competitive nature that comes up. And just know that you have the opportunity to win these battles, but win these battles in a way that's different, especially in the interpersonal connections. That these battles are really going to be, for example, in a work scenario where your job may be highly competitive in some way, you're really recognizing that the battle is really with yourself and not other people. And you'll be able to achieve things and then be very proud of yourself. And it ends up being more of a celebration than a battle, if that makes sense. So that's all I have for you, Scorpio. It's going to be a really transformative month for you. So I'm very excited for you for that. Just to let you know, I am offering forecast 2026 readings in the description below. You can click the link and schedule your session. We'll sit one-on-one. I'll go over career, finance, relationships, personal life, well-being. I'll be channeling information from your Akashic Records, and we'll be able to dictate month by month or quarter by quarter what to expect in the new year regarding your life. Other than that, enjoy your month of November. Bye.